Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Rotary Membership Action Plan Session 8, Innovative Clubs, the easiest way to grow. And without further ado, let's welcome to the stage a man who has well-traveled over the past few weeks, Rotary International Director, Jeremy Hurst. Jeremy.
So a special thanks for finding time to be here this evening. Last month, we launched the MAP Membership Success Center, and we hope you've had a chance to utilize it already and help move your clubs towards consistent, moderate membership growth. It's been exceptionally well received by all those who've had a chance to see it, including members of the Rotary International Board and the membership development team at One Rotary Center as well, who agree it's an amazing resource and tool. Now, if you tuned into our November webinar or reviewed it since, you'll recall hearing about creating clubs for the day, which highlighted clubs to implement different membership types to grow. Today, however, we're going to talk and discuss innovative clubs, easiest way to grow. Statistics show that this is literally the case, as you'll hear later. However, many clubs are afraid that by creating a new companion club, they'll lose their current members. It could be argued that if all it takes is a different type of Rotary Club to lure your members away, then there's maybe a lot of work that's got to be done to engage your members better. Even so, according to data from the Rotary Membership Center, only half of our clubs have stayed the same size or added one or more members this year. Many, on the other hand, are still losing members. About 1/3 of our clubs are on the slippery slope of complacency decline, where they lose a trickle of around 2 to 3 members each year and either don't notice or, even worse, don't care. Of course, the goal of MAP and the Membership Success Center is to highlight and to change that trickle into a consistent, moderate flow of new members. However, club culture is hard to change, as we know. Some join but feel out of place and leave. Others will feel a meeting time and overall time commitment doesn't work for them. And for others, the club use structure may not suit them. Not everybody wants to eat and pay for a big lunch. A different approach is needed, and experience has shown that innovative club types can offer more palatable pathways into Rotary than our traditional club models. Zone 33 has had a great success and would like to tell its story in relation to its innovative club program. 36 clubs in the process of formation and 14 chartered, all satellites. Almost 600 new Rotary members either chartered or on their way to joining. Most of these planned clubs are companion clubs, ones that plan to stay connected to their parent club and not to spin off the satellites. We want to identify and offer new pathways for people to enter Rotary, and after today's session, you'll see how creating a companion club is an addition, not something that's taking anything away.
As Rotary, we often ask ourselves, how do we grow, personally, professionally, and organizationally? The answer is simple. To grow Rotary, we need more Rotary clubs. Let's use Anytown as an example. Anytown is a city of 100,000 people and home to one proud Rotary Club. But there are hundreds of other people of action, just like us, who are uniquely qualified to become Rotary members. They share the same drive and represent the values and fundamentals of a Rotary member. So why aren't they members? Well, the current club meets on Monday. There are leaders in Anytown who can't meet on a Monday. By excluding this segment, the potential members in Anytown has shrunk. Now consider, what if the meeting is at noon on Monday? There are people who can meet on Monday, but can't meet at noon. So now we have a smaller audience for Rotary in Anytown. Of the remaining group, some aren't interested in a club with a sit-down lunch and speakers. They are passionate about service, but aren't interested in a traditional club experience. And that is okay. The Rotary Club of Anytown isn't doing anything wrong. It just doesn't appeal to particular segments of the community. And if we're going to thrive for years to come, we must adapt and embrace change. In Anytown, we have an opportunity to expand because potential members are everywhere. More than half of the eligible people are prospective Rotary members, waiting to make a bigger impact in their community. But what Rotary Club exists for them? If any town creates new clubs at new times and new places, the hidden potential for Rotary will be revealed. As people of action, we must broaden our reach and provide opportunities to all leaders in the community. Together, all of us can grow Rotary.
Great video asking all the right questions. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce the current president-elect of the Impact Rotary Club of Foothills, Katie Tosi, who will tell us more about her companion club's success story. Katie, over to you.
Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you the grassroots effort that is continuing to cultivate impact clubs. It is no secret that many of our clubs are dealing with more and more empty seats at their meetings. Rotary is a great organization. We all know that. It has a model that has been successful for many years, but now it is imperative that we adapt in order to grow. So it's my experience that the Impact Companion Club is an effective way to create growth and reach demographics that clubs might be missing. The concept of Impact Companion Clubs was created by Patrick Langano in Western North Carolina, the membership maniac himself, as an effort to include more people in Rotary who simply couldn't participate in the traditional meeting model. The concept focuses on strengthening our existing clubs by offering additional pathways to Rotary. So what is an Impact Companion Club? Well, in short, it's a satellite club, sort of. The term satellite sometimes has a negative connotation within a club because of the expectation of building up the club and then it breaking away from the home club. Now, generally, Impact Companion Clubs do not leave the home club. They are tied to the home club to build up the traditional model, the traditional club. So generally, impact clubs don't hold meetings. They have the option of attending the home club's meetings if interested, but they're not required to do so. The service is on focus. We have to get back to our roots. We are a service organization, and when that is our focus, the growth is natural. It's also an economic option for many people who see finances as an obstacle to being in Rotary. Finances should never keep someone from being able to serve in the name of Rotary. So what do? We meet people where they are. The traditional meeting model is wonderful for so many people, but it does not work for so many more. We take the pressure off. When you take the pressure off of people, they don't feel like they're letting the club down when they can't attend the meetings. So we also focus on what connects us. Serving others connects all of us. The conversations that happen between people when they're serving shoulder to shoulder are unique and genuine. I like to say that people don't leave Rotary because they don't like Rotary. They leave because of circumstances. Life happens. People change jobs. They get overwhelmed with their careers. They retire and spend more time traveling. They have children or they have grandchildren they want to be present for. It's up to us to figure out how Rotary can fit into and enrich their lives, not how they can adjust their lives to fit Rotary. I believe Rotary is a gift. It has been in my life. It has been in my entire family's life. But sometimes that gift has to be wrapped differently. We all know that Rotary is great at sharing wonderful ideas. We walk away from every training we attend with a list of them. The problem is, what do you do with those ideas? How do you implement them? Well, with Impact Companion Clubs, you are not on your own. We have a team of impact innovators who work with clubs from conception to practice. We've developed a proven 4-step process to ensure the success of your club. In fact, we are honored to be speaking about this process at the International Convention this year in Melbourne. Our impact innovators walk through understanding your club and your goals. We work with your board to educate everyone and walk through that approval process. We help your club create a recruitment plan. We even assist with the Rotary International paperwork and induction process. So while Impact companion clubs have been a grassroots effort. It is spreading like wildfire. Did you tell I was from North Carolina? They're wildfire. Of the clubs that are already established and those we're working with now, we have over 75 clubs worldwide. So in order to invoke the type of change that is going to sustain and grow Rotary on an international level, our clubs have to think differently and take action. If you would like to learn more about Impact Companion Clubs or think this might be a good option for your club or a club that you work with, please scan this QR code. This actually takes you directly to the Impact team calendar, and you can schedule a time that works for you. Again, I appreciate the opportunity to share this exciting initiative and the opportunity for growth, but it is now my pleasure to introduce Megan Schenker-Fulcher, the co-founder and current membership chair of the Rocktown Satellite Club in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Take it away, Megan.
Thanks, Katie. I appreciate it. So I want to share my story about how I created a satellite Rotary Club in Harrisonburg, Virginia. It has been a successful satellite club now for going on its 4th year. And as I walked through this Rotary journey, I realized that there was 3 important values to hold on to. So I'm going to share those values to you as I share my story. So the first is passion, right? A reason why to create a club. So when I started Rocktown as a non-Rotarian, it started with a passion to connect more women or more people in our community to Rotary's mission, right? Service above self. And as I was making my decision to either join a club or create a Rotary Club, I visited many local clubs that did not necessarily take into account people who couldn't make the time or the finances work. And it wasn't necessarily a good fit for educators, which is where I was coming from, and others who had 9-to-5 jobs who still wanted to give back to our community and to support, especially our diverse community that we live in. And so this led to the second point to think through, which was vision. So I joined with 3 other women in our community who also wanted to give back and saw a need for change. So in order to be really intentional and hold true to Rotary's top priority, which is service above self, we spent, and I'm not going to lie here, we spent a good 1.5 years thinking about how we wanted to market and brand our satellite club so that it was a good fit for who we wanted to cater to in terms of members. So we spent the summer of 2019 holding informational sessions, which allowed people to hear our story, understand the why, and get inspired to join. And this also helped to see if this was really a good fit for our community, as we really needed 8 members to start a club. So in the fall of September 11th of 2019, so yes, you get that right before COVID, we had 20 founding members who we inducted at our very first official meeting. And now it was the hard part, right? Moving a Rotary Club forward to be successful for more years to come. So this leads me to my third point, which is reflection. We wanted to make sure our Rotary Club continues to be what our members want it to be. So it's a place for fellowship and a place to take a deep dive into our community needs to serve them the best way that we know how. So the voices of our members are super important to us, and it helps to keep things fresh and moving forward, not only to retain our members, but to grow our club. So every year since the club started, we created strategic goals with our members to review what we've done thus far, and also to continue creating new goals to attain to. As a result, through our careful planning and holding on to those 3 takeaways, the passion, the vision, and the reflection, we have 34 active members in our club, and 80% of those members are women, and we continue to grow. Sometimes we lose 1 or 2, but always there seems to be 3 or 4 more that would like to join us. So as we continue to grow and learn, I know there will be more takeaways, but I'm super proud of where we've come and where we're going. So again, I really appreciate the opportunity to share this exciting initiative and opportunity for growth. And I would love to introduce you next to Gordon Owens, who is the governor nominee of District 6900 and a member of the Roswell Rotary Club. And Brooke Foxman is the incoming chair of the Roswell Rotary After Hours Satellite Club. So please take it away, Gordon and Brooke.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks, Megan.
So a few years ago, Roswell Rotary, along with Alpharetta, sponsored a Rotaract club, and they were going gangbusters right out of the gate, but they did not love all the administrative tasks in being an independent Rotary club, but still wanted to serve their community. And when then District Governor Mary Ligon came to our club for her official visit, she challenged us to bring that club back as a satellite club. And in Roswell Rotary fashion, we took that ball and ran with it. One of our Rotarians owns a local brewery. We invited all the Rotaractors to come back. So the Rotaract alumni were invited to come back and bring some friends. And we showed them a new way to do Rotary that didn't have nearly as much administrative work involved in having a club. It was more about the service and the fellowship. So that night, Roswell Rotary After Hours Club was born with 14 new members. And Brooke, your club has a tagline of networking, servicing, and fun. And let's start with the networking aspect. How does the After Hours Club network with each other and the other members of Roswell Rotary?
Yeah, so to give kind of an insight for everyone on what our club is kind of founded on, most of our members are within the first 5 years of their career. And our guidelines are kind of you live, work, or were raised in Roswell, which I was raised in Roswell and work in Roswell. So that's where I had that relationship with the community. We meet on the first and third Tuesday of every month. So that's twice a month at 6:30 p.m. At the local brewery, like Gordon was saying. And honestly, for the most part, we usually arrive pretty early to catch up with our members, grab a drink before the meeting. And then honestly, sometimes we usually go and grab dinner after as well. The meeting's just not enough time to catch up, and we like to really take time. One thing that I will find really special about the networking is that we have usually 5 or 6 members from the lunch club, which we call Big Rotary. Gordon always gets a laugh out of that. We always have about 5 or 6 members from Big Rotary that do come to our meetings, not because they don't want to, or not because they don't have to, but because they really want to be there. And they truly feel like they're a part of our club, just like we do vice versa. Since our members are young professionals, we aim for our speakers to discuss topics that would benefit our members. So like how to buy your first home, tax advice 101. We've had mental health speakers come, doctors come. And so with that, a lot of our speakers are mostly Big Rotary members because our lunch club members have been there and done that. They're more established in the community as well as in their life. And so their advice to us as young adults and professionals is something that we're super grateful for to have. And another thing is that like we truly feel as a unity when we come to each other's meetings as well.
So y'all's second mantra is service. So talk about how the After Hours Club determines where to focus your attention and how you go about serving our community.
Right. So as you can see on the PowerPoint, our passions are mental health, food security, sustainability, and supporting our veterans. One thing that I would like to point out is our club is called After Hours because our meetings are after work hours, as well as our service is on Saturdays, so it doesn't conflict with work. We actually just had a service opportunity this past Saturday, and one of our examples that we did was food security. So one of the advantages we have with our companionship, because we're a companion club with Big Rotary, is the connections that they have connected us with. So we leverage a connection with Big Rotary to the Chattahoochee Nature Center, which is a big organization center in our community. And we did a Saturday service day with them. We worked in the garden and we produced about like 10,000 pounds of fresh produce with them for our local food bank here in Roswell. And a lot of our Big Rotary members were there as well to help out with the gardening, and which I think is super special. And as well as if we don't do a Saturday service, we also do projects during our meetings. So for instance, we'll write cards to veterans and write them during the meeting and use that as more of like a social, get a drink and do a service during the meeting.
So last, but certainly not least, is the fun. And I know my why for staying in Rotary is the building better friendships part of the 4-way test. How does the After Hours Club bring the fun to Rotary?
So, I mean, meeting at a brewery certainly does help that. I would say it's our biggest perk. Over the last year, like we've really gotten to know one another as friends as well as colleagues, as well as with our Big Rotary members. We do have mentorships and relationships there. One thing that I found really interesting is that we try to combine network, service, and fun in combos or all three. So for instance, service and fun, we as a group volunteered at the Roswell Beer Fest, which supports a local charity called the Star House organization that works with kids that are in lower income families. And Big Rotary actually kind of challenged us to sponsor a tent. And so we did that. We got our 10 volunteers. And then our Big Rotary president, John, came back and challenged us again to get 10 more volunteers and that they would donate another $1,000 to the charity for a second tent. And we did that. We had so much fun. And we actually did meet several new potential members for the group. And there was music and dancing. And also we were serving our community by helping Star House out. Another thing that I love that we do is something we call Thirsty Thursdays. And that is just one thing that we do once a month. We meet at a local restaurant or brewery and hang out just to have like a social environment, as well as we are contributing to these small local restaurants in the community. And we really have built better long life friendships here. The fun that we have together and the energy in our meeting is just super infectious. And we're really proud to have our first anniversary as of March 1st. And we did on our first anniversary conduct our 21st member.
Brooke, that's awesome. Thank you very much for sharing with us today. Hopefully you help inspire some folks out there to start a companion club.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I know as a member of Big Rotary that I'm proud to have the After Hours Club helping us build the next generation of Rotarians in our community.
Yes.
Now I am pleased to introduce George Robertson Burnett, Zone 34 Innovative Club Advocate.
Thank you, Gordon, and thank you, Brooke, Megan, Katie, for your exceptional presentations regarding the creation and operation of satellite and impact clubs. I'm sure our attendees tonight will have questions for you, which I remind everyone should be posed by using the QA button at the bottom of your screen. We look forward to welcoming our presenters back shortly to answer those very questions. But now we would like to hear from all of you as we launch a poll asking, what is your main concern in creating an innovative club? And just for clarity, innovative is still the same as innovative. You can't hit the English translation to get it right. So what is your main concern in creating an innovative club? Launch poll, please. We'll give you a short period of time to answer. So thank you all for your responses. And thanks to those who are ready to try it and embrace innovation. The other options also deserve some comment. Losing current members, well, it may surprise you that records show that generally club creation does not negatively impact current clubs or members. And regarding no buy-in, it is important to fully involve members of the sponsoring club to ensure their full understanding of the effects, possibilities, and the benefits of increased Rotary Club membership. And looking at the community support option, it is unusual to find a community that doesn't take to its heart a club which is providing great service opportunities and caring in the community. And there are many examples of small communities with multiple clubs. And with option 4, while greatly appreciating your love of your club, individuals are motivated by the different experiences, and a different club will offer new possibilities and attract a different dynamic. Thank you all for your participation in that interesting poll. It's now time for us to welcome back our panelists tonight, Katie Tosi, Megan Schenker-Fulsher, Gordon Owens, and Brooke Foreman. Welcome back, and let's get straight into the questions that have been posed. So my first question goes to Katie. Are impact clubs, impact members, full members of Rotary, or is it a different designation with different RI dues? Over to you, Katie.
They are. Thank you for that question. Yes, they are absolutely full members of Rotary, full members of the home club. So yeah, I'm sorry,
Yep.
my Zoom just quit. Am I still there?
Yes, you're still with us.
Okay, good. So yes, absolutely 100% full Rotarians. They're doing the work. Many of our impact clubs do choose to have a different dues structure.
Okay, that's great. So thank you so much for that. Now my question is for Megan. What do you see as the important subcommittees to have in a satellite club?
Sure, absolutely. So I think that one of the most important pieces is a leadership team. So there's always going to be a chair, a person who starts the club, but we also added a vice chair and then had the secretary and a treasurer so that we could also hold on to our funds and still work with the partner club. So I think the leadership team is really important piece. And then I also think one of the subcommittees that was important for us was the community service committee. And that's just because one of our biggest things is that our speakers are connected to our community service. And so we're doing a service project along with listening to a speaker who is part of that nonprofit that we're listening to. So we really wanted to have somebody that was going to sort of be in charge of that piece so that the leadership team didn't have to do it.
Thank you so much for that. And Brooke, when satellites reach 20 members, do they then have to charter as a Rotary Club rather than staying as a satellite of a Rotary Club?
I would have to say no. Like I said, we just inducted our 21st member, and we have no intentions of ever not being a companion club. For us as young professionals, it's super helpful that we are provided the administrative help as well as the community connections from Big Rotary. And so the idea is that for right now, us, our founding members, eventually over time, our lives it'll be more beneficial for us to go into the lunch club, which does meet at lunch hours, but there's always the intentions of keeping the companion club and recruiting new members that would benefit from the after hours.
That's a great thing. There is a follow-on question here, which I think probably you have answered, but I'll ask it anyway. Can a satellite club become a regular Rotary Club? And what added value does the sponsor club offer if such an option is desired?
I mean, for us specifically, I would say that we really don't have any intentions of ever becoming a separate satellite club. Like I said, the support that we get is super beneficial, and we're just going to continue recruiting members that want to have service and network and fun, but are provided the financial stability and support from the Big Rotary. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does, Brooke. Thank you so much. And if I could move to Gordon, does the leadership of the satellite club have a position on the sponsor club's board?
So it's not a requirement of being a companion or a satellite club, but we highly recommend it and it works great. So the chair of our companion club sits on the board of what Brooke calls Big Rotary. So they sit on our board. So, and then we have someone from our club who's considered a mentor who goes and participates in their meetings. But as she talked about, there's usually 5 or 6 of us that go up there and help and sit in and hang out with the young guys and see what they're up to and get a little bit of that infectious energy.
Thanks, Gordon. And there's a follow-on question for you also. Do the satellite clubs send their officers to pets, pre-pets, district training assemblies, or it depend on the meeting?
So we in our district just started considering that, and that question was posed, and we invited all who were willing to come and encouraged it. I believe it was sort of a last minute decision, so not many attended this year, but we're gonna hopefully have several of the satellite folks coming to pre-pets and pets moving forward.
Can I answer that as well? Because that is something that we do. Okay,
yes,
great.
Please do.
Thanks. So we actually put it in our budget so that we do make sure that our chair and vice chair always go to pets. And we actually keep our chair and vice chair for 2 years. But when we roll on the vice chair to become chair, then we put the other person who's going to become vice chair into pets. So they're getting it actually for 2 years, just so that they're really starting to develop and facilitate goals that way.
While you're there, Katie, I wonder if you could give us some indication of the dues structure within impact clubs.
Absolutely. Now that I'm back. So many of our impact companion clubs do choose to offer a lower due structure for their impact club members. And that is because, you know, the most costly thing associated with Rotary really are the meals, and we all love to eat, but if you're not eating and you're not attending those meetings, there's no need to include that in their dues. And there are other things that many clubs bake into their dues, but really all you need to include in the dues of your impact club members are your Rotary International dues and your district dues. And if those are covered, then you can make your decision on how much you want your members to pay based on those numbers. I would encourage everyone to think about our younger demographic out there and how these young professionals are just getting started, and they want mentors, they want to be connected, they want to serve their community, but sometimes Rotary is a financial burden, and that should not be the case.
Thank you so much. I wonder if I could ask a similar question to Megan with regard to dues within the satellite club.
Yes, so it's very, very similar to Katie. All we're doing is paying for the international dues and then the district dues. We do not pay for food. So if we do meet at a restaurant and they can choose to eat if they would like to or drink, but there is no dues that go into that. And then we have a very small pocket of money that goes into our own. So basically, we're $200 for the whole year. And then they can choose to do it in two sections of 100 and 100.
That's great. I appreciate it. A question for Gordon. Do your members still go on the DAC-DB roster?
Well, that's a bad question for me because we don't use DAC-DB, but
or the equivalent.
They would go on the DAC-DB roster. We give DAC-DB rights to read our data, but we have our own district technology that we use. So, but they're in our directory. They're full-fledged members of Roswell Rotary. There's no difference except there's a little satellite icon in their profile in our directory, and that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gordon. There's a sort of a more general question here. How do we diversify our club? Is there anyone who would like to answer that for us? How do I diversify my club? So this is not so much starting a new satellite or impact, it's more about how do I diversify the club I'm in? I know it's a little bit off topic. Is there someone want to?
I would love to answer that if you don't mind.
Yes, please do.
I think in general, if you are focusing on doing good in your community and connecting in every way possible with the nonprofit organizations or just any organization that needs assistance in your community, that diversity is going to happen naturally. If you're focused on service, your club is going to look like your community, because that is what connects everyone. Everyone wants to feel good about doing good. So if you're connected, but if you're out there doing the work and you're seen everywhere, then your club is going to look like your community. But get connected with every organization you can in your community. That's going to bring people to you.
Thanks very much. And while we're on the subject of impact or companion clubs, what administrative duties do host clubs have to do with the companion club? So what facilities do they offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So the host club generally designates a chairperson for the impact club. Now, the impact companion club can choose to have their own treasurer, or they can choose to have the treasurer of the home club manage that as well. Because these members really don't cost you anything and they're just paying dues and they're covering anything additional that they want to do. We see most clubs have their home club treasurer manage those funds, but You need to have a chairperson who's the liaison between the home club and the impact club. And you need to be sharing all of those service opportunities with not only impact, but also your home club to energize everyone. That's really about it.
Okay, thank you for that. Great answer. Question perhaps for Brooke here. Because satellite clubs may offer a lesser dues structure, is there a danger that this is put as big Rotary clubs eventually die out?
I'll speak on my behalf, and then I think Gordon also might be able to piggyback off me.
Yes, sure.
But I would
great.
say
Thanks.
that at least for our group, we're very fortunate that we have a very generous host club. And if there are things that our group is super passionate about, but necessarily our individual budget cannot afford it, our host club does help us with that as well. But our Rotary Club is very established within our community, and there's a lot of things that we are able to do at a very low cost. And a lot of the organizations in our community are really grabbing and hoping that we will be able to commit our time and money to them. And so that's what I would really have to say about it. Gordon, do you have anything to hop off me with?
Yeah. I don't think Roswell Rotary is going anywhere anytime soon. We like I said, a bunch of us will go to the after hours group because the brewery is a 5-minute walk from our house, or we want to come see what folks are up to. But the thing that we really enjoy about that relationship is our ability to help facilitate the connections into the community. So the after hours group has their own vision board of how they want to go out in the world and serve. And they come to us with an idea. We'd like to focus on food insecurity. And hey, guess what? This guy's on the board of the Chattahoochee Nature Center. They've got a unity garden. You guys can get connected in there. And it's those connections that we make that really help that club thrive. And I say kids, and I'm sorry because you're not kids.
Go for it.
but they very much enjoy the two-way street that we have, and I can't imagine it changing anytime soon. We hope that they'll sort of graduate from the after hours club and be lunch club members, and we'll keep filling that after hours group with young professionals for years to come.
Thank you, Gordon. I appreciate that. There's some great questions coming in, and we're not going to have time to answer them all here, but please rest assured we will get back to you. Because your questions, it's important for us to get back to you with the answers to these questions. We'll ask one other question, though. Perhaps we could start with Katie on how do you promote the foundation, or do you promote the foundation and foundation giving within your club? And perhaps, Megan, you could also answer that from the satellite club point of view.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah. So we do promote the foundation. We do not require it. Now, giving of one's resources is a very personal thing. But I believe, and we believe that if people are educated about what that foundation is doing, they will choose to do so. So we offer that education and give them the opportunity to contribute. It's all about education.
Thanks, Katie. I'm glad that you do that. Megan?
Yeah, so it's very similar. We actually also do a lot of education around Rotary Foundation. We've had several speakers come in. We're going to continue to do that because as we get new members, and because a lot of us were not Rotarians before, we're still learning that process. We have a educational foundation piece to our meetings every month that we meet. So we have a little bit of about 5 or 10 minutes that one of the leadership team members actually run. And so it's about, some of it is about the foundation. We support it, but it is not required as well.
Thanks, Megan. And there's a number of questions on foundation and on dues that we haven't had a chance to get to, but rest assured we will. Wonderful answers. Thank you so much. And my sincere thanks to all our panelists for their helpful responses. And also to all our attendees for providing a variety of very interesting questions. I will now pass this program back to Director Jeremy Hurst. Over to you, Jeremy.
Well, thanks, George. And as you said, great questions and really, really valuable answers. Thanks again, panelists, and also our audience, of course. And many of you will recall that we have a map Membership Action Plan Awards program to recognize and reward those clubs and districts who are engaging and participating in our Membership Action Plan. It's one of the reasons we ask you to place your name and club information in the chat at the beginning of each MAP webinar, of course. And this slide provides you with an update of the participation rate of your clubs based upon their attendance at our MAP webinars like tonight. It's updated through last month's webinar, so you can see where your district stands against the other districts. And we encourage you to promote our MAP webinars to your club leaders on a consistent basis. As you've seen tonight, they bring real value and resources that clubs can easily access and put to use. And there's no better way to ensure membership growth remains front and center in your club's culture. So please remember that attendance on these webinars is just one of the components of these awards. To actually achieve the award, the district must also show growth in the current Rotary year. So let's finish this year Rotary strong and make sure your club gets the award it deserves. So now for a few of the upcoming webinars. As you can see, Zone 34's public image team presents. How the heck do you do that? Including Canva hacks, I'm told. As a follow-up to the February Cool Content webinar, this session will feature tips and tricks to execute your public image strategy effectively. So you can discover online tools, create workflows to simplify tasks, use hashtags, and learn how to create content anytime and anywhere, just like video, of course. Register at elevaterotary.org. And the next public image webinar for Zone 33 in their 4th Tuesday series will be held on the 4th Tuesday on the 28th of March at 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern. And it's going to feature a masterclass on how membership and public image can work together outside the silos. Zone 33 district training is also in April 13th to 15th at Virginia Crossing, just like last year. And we'll have a variety of sessions on membership, public image, and the Rotary Foundation, of course. And coming soon, Rotary International President Jennifer Jones has asked us to talk about the importance of comfort and care of our members and create caring and comfortable clubs. April's Membership Action Plan webinar will lean directly into member care. At the end of this session, you'll walk away with tools to understand member wants and needs. Create a plan and take action to create a caring, comfortable, and inclusive environment in your club. So don't miss it, Monday, April 10th at 6 p.m. Eastern. And lastly, remember to kickstart your membership growth. Set your goals in the Membership Action Plan Membership Success Center. Attend these monthly webinars and implement the interaction and engagement strategies to become irresistible. Hope is not a strategy for membership growth. Let's make our clubs bigger, and let's make our clubs impact the community and create irresistible clubs for our members. Set your goals in the MAP Membership Action Success Center to take the first steps. And by the way, let's also say happy birthday to Rotaract. It's their 55th birthday today on March the 13th. Thanks for being with us this evening. We look forward to seeing you next month, April 10th, for our very next webinar. Have a great week and keep enjoying the pet season. Take care and good night.